a little bit of fun that we're going to have today involves the following question. What the hell is a corn jerker? And yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you forever and ever. Amen.
Let's go.
Just a minute.
Oh.
Like I said, forever and ever. Amen. In other words, LeBron, you.
Now let's begin.
Do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up? Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
Vikalaah. There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Because we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
What in the blue hell was that? I didn't think we had a full moon already.
I'm gonna say you're being the big dog. You're the distant cousin to the wolf. So you should know that's a wolf.
There's one in Denver.
Oh,
there's one in Denver.
There.
You should have caught on. Here we go on a Tuesday. Good morning. Welcome to the Tripped Out Taco Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. 4 minutes after the hour, along with the big dog Shane Lake and Vikalaah himself. Old Snowman is here. We're going to get right into it. What the hell is going on in Denver?
I have no idea.
What happened?
Minnesota came and they weren't, blanking around with them.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
They're
Good
up
Lord.
2-love. They're up 2-love now against the reigning champs.
And the bad part is they won last night's game by 26 without Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, that was a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
That says something.
I'm afraid.
Denver's struggling.
No,
I am terrified.
And now they have to go on the road to win 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Minnesota is a violent house.
I've been in there.
I mean,
I've
my
been in.
God, I'm
I've been
looking
in the
at
target
look at
center.
the stat lines right now, and it is not good. What
It's not even
happened to
close.
Porter?
He disappeared.
Completely.
Just like Joel Embiid for 6 games. And yes, that's a direct shot.
More like Tobias Harris levels. I mean, he
The-
didn't come away with
worse.
0, but
More like LeBron James levels. Oh, did I say that aloud?
I mean, 39 points and you come up with 9? 39 minutes and you come up with 9 points?
9.
9.
Massive ouch.
Nikola Jokic cannot carry this team by himself, guys. Y'all gonna have to step up.
And
the
yet
game.
Minnesota's forcing Jokic to do so.
Exactly.
They're forcing Jokic to carry the team by himself, and no one has stepped up yet. No one has stepped up yet.
Mercy.
If Minnesota's going to climb back into the series, they're going to have to. They're going to have to steal them both.
Yeah, they
this
are.
weekend in Minnesota. They're going to have to steal them both. The Joker has to compete with a decent big man. Yeah, he does, because he was running over folks last year. This year, hoo-wee! Karl Anthony Towns is not playing around. And thank you, BGS, for hopping in. A little bit of maintenance. If y'all like what you hear, despite what people tried to tell me yesterday, do me a favor. Hit the Cash App at $Tallman.K50. Man, like you, Victor, I am terrified.
Yeah.
I am terrified. And BGS just said it a moment ago.
Yeah.
Now, Joker has to compete. And what Minnesota's forcing them to do is force the Joker to beat him by himself.
Yeah. Like they're trying to take away all of his reinforcements, so he's going to be on an island by himself.
Well, that's what Golden State did 2 years ago.
I can tell you now, because I say right now, a lot of media wasn't happy with the Nuggets winning last year.
No,
because of Jokic. So if they lose here, a lot of that blame is going to be heaped on him.
Yep, a lot of it's going to be heaped on him. And that is frightening if you're a Nuggets fan.
Also, consideration, the Wolves were mad. Because who really believed that Minnesota was going to get here?
You know what? In a strange sort of way, I did. Especially looking at the draw.
I honestly didn't.
Especially looking at the draw. I mean, come on.
I knew they'd be good.
They're playing in the playoffs, which is a totally different animal, as BGS has said before, and everybody has said before. You're playing the downtrodden Phoenix Suns, who need to have their team blown to smithereens.
Fair.
And try again.
Fair, but I still believe that maybe Phoenix had a little bit more in the tank than Minnesota did. You know what this reminds me of? And let's see if you can follow this one. Do you remember the Brawl for All?
I most certainly do.
This is indicative like Bart Gunn going against Dr. Death Steve Williams.
That ain't fair.
Where everyone basically said, no, we know Dr. Death's winning that match. And Bart Gunn got so angry that he knocked him out. And completely changed the entire landscape. That's what Minnesota's trying to do here. They're trying to be that Bart Gunn. They're trying to knock out the heavily favored to repeat. And this just goes to show how hard it is to repeat.
How hard it is to get back there. And I'll throw an analogy that someone threw at me. If they had to struggle, even though they won the series in 5 games against Los Angeles, they're really going to struggle with a young, hungry Minnesota team. And Anthony Edwards, my gosh.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Anthony freaking Edwards.
Maybe he heard you.
Maybe he did.
Because he showed up and showed out again.
Listen, Karl Anthony Towns definitely heard me with 27 points and 12 rebounds. When you can hold Nikola Jokic to 16 points,
you've done something.
16 rebounds, you did something well.
And how?
You did something well. Styles make fights. Absolutely, BGS. Absolutely. Minnesota doesn't have help on Joker. They are exposed. True. What the Nuggets have to do is take advantage of that when they go to the Target Center. Now, if you go back to 2003, when the Wolves had the home court advantage against the Lakers in that first round series, the Target Center was a madhouse.
Right.
The Lakers came in and stole one. Matter of fact, they stole two of them. That's what the Nuggets need to do. They got to steal two of them, because if Minnesota's allowed to get one at home, it'll be just a matter of time.
Yeah. It'll only be a matter of time.
Riddler's NBA Finals prediction goes Wolves and Celtics. Hey, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised either way. I would not be surprised either way. But before the Celtics can start making plans for the NBA World Championship Series, can't talk this morning, there may be a team they have to compete with in the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Who I believe, and I need someone to look to, I believe New York won the Atlantic Division this year for the first time in a while. I believe the Knicks won the Atlantic Division. In fact, I'm certain of it. Jalen Brunson, and I had a chance to see him play when he was at Lincolnshire Stevenson back home in Chicago. Wow. 43 points last night. The biggest pickup the Knicks made was 2 years ago when they snatched Jalen Brunson. That's the biggest pickup they made.
Yeah, this is kind of a much weirder playoff than I expected.
It's actually worth watching.
Yeah, the Knicks have gone deep. The Wolves have gone deep,
and they're threatening to go even deeper.
We knew the Lakers were going to be gone. Unfortunately, I kind of had a foregone conclusion that the Warriors were not going to be for long.
Same.
It's just they had so much hardship on the road.
Yeah,
and
last
that
2 years
didn't change this year.
And the reverse is for the Warriors this year, they couldn't win at home.
That's true.
They couldn't win it. They couldn't win at home, and they got knocked out by the Sacramento Kings. The Meek have inherited the NBA. You're right, BTS.
I agree.
I agree with this.
I totally agree.
I totally agree with it also. The Meek have indeed inherited the NBA.
And the problem that the Warriors had is they had the stigma of the whole new arena and trying to defend the turf. It just got to be too much for them.
It did. So we'll see what happens in San Francisco. It's a team from start to finish that I'm going to be covering next year, and I can't wait for it. And I'm going to have some reinforcements in doing so.
Yeah.
Listen, Miles Turner had 23 last night, but I'll go back to what I said before. Jalen Brunson, don't play with him. 43 big ones last night. And I believe that makes 4 consecutive 40-point games for Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I believe that's 4 consecutive 40-point games for Jalen Brunson.
I'm telling you now, if the Knicks mess around and get to the finals.
So you already know who's going to pop on here talking all kinds of mess and popping his collar.
Well, no, I don't mind that. I welcome the wise man. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I'm talking about Negro night.
Oh, God.
That's what's going to burn me.
Don't you ever disturb my coffee drinking like that again.
No, but I mean, if the wise man shows up, I'm going to give all congratulations.
We're going to have all kinds of fun with that. We're going to have all kinds of fun. Wise, you got an open invite whenever you want to come on. Just some things I need to improve on and get straight. Now, Cleveland has to take on the Boston Celtics.
They're screwed.
I will make my prediction right now. Cleveland doesn't get a win in that series.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
If Cleveland gets a win in the series, if Cleveland is to win the series, guess what they have to do? They're going to steal one in the Garden. And that's asking
next to impossible.
And that's asking a borderline miracle.
Yeah.
And by the way, Snowman, officially it was 4 straight for Brunson. 47, 40, and 41 against Philadelphia, and 43 last night.
Brunson is not playing around.
Play with Jalen Brunson. And you know what? You know what someone just sent me? Someone just sent me another semifinal series between the Knicks and the Pacers.
What is this, 1994?
Or 95? Because it's a semifinal series and not the East.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that at all.
I mean, we all know at the end of the day, whoever comes out of that series is going to run into Boston.
Yeah.
Give me this button. Since I hate the Cleveland Cadavers so much, even without you know who, even without Tyronn Lue, dear Boston Celtics, could you do old Snowman a favor? Restore the pride of Boston in the playoffs and kick the ever-loving out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Please.
I'm all for it. I'm all for a 4-game sweep.
And then you got this one. The Dallas Mavericks and the Seattle Supersonics. I'm sorry, the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's at 9:30. Now I will make the same. I hate doing this, and I'm gonna hate the vial that's gonna come out of my mouth in my next request. And I got coffee and 2 things of water over here to help, clean everything out. But Oklahoma City, I don't care how much I've talked about you during the season. Would you do me a favor? Kick the out of Kyrie to Herbal Tea and the Mavericks for me, will you please? I mean, whoop their ass.
So you're behind OKC now.
For this series and this series only. Why? Because I've had so many Maverick fans, Ben Sutter's not included, get in my ear and in my inbox about how great Kyrie Irving is. Man, shut the up with that noise.
Because they never saw him in Cleveland or Boston.
They never saw him in Brooklyn. They never saw.
Well, I gave him a pass in Cleveland because he got screwed over. And I've always said that. He got screwed over by Dan Gilbert.
True. Shades of Latrell Sprewell. Yeah. Is Brunson the new Bernard King? He just might be.
Yeah.
He just might be. I'm still sticking with my prediction. I still say we're going to have a repeat of 1995. Only this time it'll take 6 games instead of 7. It's going to be one of the most competitive series in the second round. Yeah, Malik's right. We said that the Timberwolves needed to be banished to the NBA Cup. We lied.
Here's the thing. We can admit a mistake. The Timberwolves made a liar to us. But the thing is that I know you're a modern NBA fan and you're going to follow all the modern NBA teams.
Of course.
But when we saw what we saw in the regular season, we said to the NBA Cup with them. Now we know that they're here to stay.
They are here to stay. And BGS poses this wonderful question. Is Brunson the new Bernard King? I believe he is, with one advantage. Brunson can stay healthy. Bernard King's career, even though it's a Hall of Fame career, was robbed by
a lot of injuries.
The same thing happened to one Andrew Toney.
Yeah.
And for those of you old schoolers who know who Andrew Toney is, the Boston Strangler, I know Shane knows about number 22. Toney's career has been besieged, thank you, Jim Durham, for this sentence, by foot injuries. Imagine what he had been able to do had he been able to continue his career beyond 1985.
Oh, boy.
Imagine what he had been able to do. Okay, let's take a break. And when y'all get back, yes, the WNBA needs a little fixing. And in the news again is Miss Caitlin Clark for a good thing. And Victor sent us something that we're all going to go in on.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell y'all right now, buckle up. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, aka Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got CarShield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave CarShield a call. Coverage was very affordable and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic, they called CarShield and saved my family and I $2,400.
CarShield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give CarShield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
CarShield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Alicia.
You can't hold. Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Yes, official SIT Morn is back. That's how you can follow us. And there's a reason why I came back with that. We're gonna flip what we had planned because there's a grade that Victor needs to give out, which is why I came back with that bump. And at the bottom of the hour, we'll talk all things Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. Now, Victor.
Yep.
You made a request of me yesterday, post show.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, Snowman, I said, what? Can I do my grade tomorrow? Okay, is there a reason for this? And then Victor said, please, let me do it. All right. So, folks, Cowboy style, here are some random musings of
VKALAAAH.
All right, y'all, buckle up. Now go.
All right. So when the draft happened, Snowman, remember, I was waiting with bated breath for the first pick they're going to make at 24.
Yes.
It got down to the wire.
Uh-huh. It did.
And then they traded down 5 spots. And I texted, and I'm done.
You did. I remember that.
Twist Snowman was like, not yet. Oh, yes, I am. So I couldn't understand why in the world you'd have to trade down. It made no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pick came in.
And
Tyler Guyton. And a weird feeling came over me.
Oh, boy.
Was this optimism?
What?
A sense of, you know what? You guys picked a good one. Do you need offensive line work? And you got offensive line help. In fact, all their picks seem to be pretty decent ones. Maris Lufo from Notre Dame, a linebacker. Great job to help out Micah Parsons. Marshawn Neeland, an edge rusher. Cooper Beebe from Kansas State for a guard. Ryan Flournoy from Southeast Missouri State, one of your whole stomping ground, Snowman, for wideout.
Yep.
And I looked at the pick, and I'm like, this is actually a pretty decent set of picks. The Cowboys actually got right. So for me, they were staring on the barrel of an F-, always we know as the butt whooping special.
Yes. Yes.
But honestly, I would say this is like a C+ or a B-. Now hear me out, Moronic Republic.
Uh-oh.
Because I know you guys been jumping. Yeah, see, we're going to do it this year. Slow down. Because my first thought was, with all of these picks, that's all well and good, but we don't have a running back. And then as soon as I said that,
oh, hell broke loose.
Old Snowman sent me an article that we have regained Zeke Elliott.
You have my sympathies.
Mine too.
Here's the thing. At least Zeke knows the program. He was a much better runner than Tony Pollard. And with this hopefully better offensive line, maybe he'll be able to do more. But there's one person that is not getting out of this. There's one person that is not getting out of the seat he has put himself in.
I think I know who it is.
Snowman, if you please.
Mike McCarthy?
Not Mike McCarthy.
Oh, I was
Number
wrong.
4.
Oh, the fake quarterback.
Yes.
Mr. Dak Press. No, I'll say it the way I said it to Victor the very first time when they drafted him. Mr. Dak Trash Scott.
Prescott, I know you've heard this before. Have another seat.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Fry his ass.
Dak, you know what this draft says? It says you have no more excuses. You have no more reasons why you appear short. There's no more reasons why you come up short every time the bright lights in the big city's up. It's time for you to step up and be the quarterback everyone believes you to be.
Except me.
You got a pretty nice offensive line. You now have another wide receiver, another weapon that you can use so you don't keep overusing and misusing CeeDee Lamb. And now you got Zeke back. You got no more excuses. You have nowhere to go, sir. You now have to step up. That's what the Cowboys organization are saying to you. Now, I get it. We still got Pennywise. And Pennywise, you might as well share this seat too, because you're not off the hook either.
Then I better do this again.
Victor, before you fry his ass, let me go dig him out of the gutter down the street here, since that's where we know he likes staying. Give me a second. What? I read the damn book.
I know. I did too. I know.
Because you two are the two biggest denominators for our failures in playoff time.
I'm sorry, what was that F word again?
Failures.
That's what I thought you said.
Whether it's Pennywise for calling a play to which Zeke, ride your back, bud, is once it was set up as center only to get drilled by the 49ers. Or if it's Dakota Prescott, who believes at some point he forgot what he learned in Pee Wee and said, oh, my center can spot the ball and I'll just play from there. Dak, it is time now. You have been given 4 years of hefty paychecks that now I and many others believing that you may not have earned.
You think?
It's time for you to grab yourself by your you-know-whats. Get out on that field and prove to the Cowboys and to Cowboys faithful and to the Morocco Republic, who for some reason still believe that you're the best thing since sliced bread in Dallas.
Troy Aikman, anyone?
That you belong there. It is Super Bowl or bust, guys. Now, do I think you'll get there? Not really. I personally don't. It's going to take more growing pains. Maybe an NFC championship. Maybe. But if you don't even get there, I don't even think, Dak, you're going to even get a job at the CFL.
Oh.
You certainly are not going to get one for the UFL, the AFL.
Ouch.
In fact, your next destination may end up being the ACFL, the Antonio Clown Football League, the League of One.
Ow. Ow.
Man, we done woke up and chose violence this week.
Ow.
Because Cowboys faithful has had enough of the heartbreak. They've had enough of the disappointment. They've had enough of everyone making fun of them. I know, sure I have.
Uh-huh.
Welcome to what I got for being a Red Sox fan until 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the idiots in the Morocco Republic who keep forcing this nonsense about how we're the best team going, and then wonder why we keep getting shellacked and pummeled and kicked around.
In other words,
does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
Exactly. So
more
Dak,
like a scrambled egg.
So Dak, it is time. You've got nowhere else to go. You have nowhere else to hide, and you have no more excuses. Now, you have a 3-word directive. Get it done. Now get up.
Here we go with the audibles again.
No, what'd you do now?
Gave his take on Dak Prescott and what needs to happen. I am going to respond in kind. And to Droid, I ain't pulling out that clip until the Panthers win the series. And that's that. Now, here's where I respond to Victor in kind.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, Mr. Prescott. All right. Give me this camera. Now, Victor is probably going to reach through the computer and choke me for my first sentence.
Go ahead.
Dak Prescott, you suck.
No, I'm not gonna choke you for that.
You suck, Dak Prescott. You've sucked ever since you've been selected by the Cowboys out of Mississippi State. You had a Heisman Trophy in your hand, you had a national championship in your hand, and then you got your ass Peter-rolled by Mississippi. What have you done since then? Give me this. Not a damn thing. You haven't even come close to an NFC championship. You ain't going to come close this year, even though Ezekiel Elliott has returned, even though the Cowboys brass actually decided to draft some offensive linemen. My question remains, who's the coach? Who's the person that put you supposedly in a position to succeed, and all you've done is fail in his presence? That's right, Pennywise. And you know something, Dak? One good
Tiger uppercut,
and you're done. One good
sonic boom,
and you're out of Dallas. One good
uppercut
will confirm everything I have been feeling for the past 8 years. Everything. And to those of you in the moronic republic that actually think Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott's reunion will actually do something for the Cowboys,
Stop the cap.
please. Because no. Just plain no. When I sent Victor the article that, first stated that Ezekiel was contemplating a return to the Cowboys, Victor's actual response was, quote,
"You have got to be shaving me."
Yeah. I told him to pass.
Well, they didn't.
Well, he didn't. Because that was Zeke's decision.
And you know what Victor's next question to me was?
What the hell's going on out here?
Sorry. You're not it, Dak. You haven't been it. You never will be it. Forever and ever. Amen. Now beat it. All right, big dog. Your turn.
And I got someone higher up the chain I'm about to roast. Gerald Jones, sit your ass down. Boy, you must think this is a doggone primetime drama because you must think you're dealing with J.R. Ewing when you're dealing with the Dallas Cowboys. I hate to tell you something, pal. You ain't been it when it comes to ownership.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I've got zero miro for you on this one. You ain't been it for the longest time because you don't know how to run your system. You got a dumb like Pennywise running the offense. You got Dak who can't throw for beans, and you think you're going to reunite Zeke with him and you guys are actually going to have success? You guys ain't had a quarterback down in the Big D since the days of Troy Aikman.
Exactly.
And this includes Tony Romo.
Oh, Romo was the biggest screw-up of them all until number 4 came around.
A pair of frauds.
Ever since you guys had the audacity to go with the bigger Jerry World Stadium you haven't had any success in the playoffs. You haven't sniffed a Super Bowl since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And the way you're going, you ain't going to sniff it for the longest time to come. You could put Darth Vader in as coach, and he'd still screw up thanks to what you guys have there. And that ain't going to be able to use the Force on anybody.
Nope.
So, Gerald, you need to do us all a favor. Empty out your alcohol cabinet. Come up here to Foxborough. Take Kraft mac and cheese with you. Go find a massage parlor down in Tampa and retire. Because right now, you guys are the reason that neither team are going to end up making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you put in front of us. Your ownership is the reason both teams are screwed.
Agreed.
Now, do me a favor. Call Buck Strickland. I need a refill on the propane tanks because I'm done with you.
To one of my mods in the chat, boot Malik Jones's ass out of here. I'm not going to put up with it today. Back after this. I'm done. I am DUNN Adam done.
Well, let's put it this way, okay? Yes, the Cowboys have been more recent winners. Doesn't mean anything when it's been almost 2 decades.
Let me say something, Malik. Mr. McCoffey. Let me say something to Malik Jones. 54 and 58 for the Cowboys. 30. Do the math. Now boot his punk ass out of here. And you ain't coming back. Now I got another league to roast when y'all get back in 2 minutes.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
So they say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Let's Talk Monday.
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me
I
something.
finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, my love. Snowman in the Morning is back along with the big dog and Vikalaah. Okay. We had fun with the Cowboys. Now it's time to get serious. To the people in charge of the WNBA, y'all have a seat. Now, give me this camera.
I am so glad I refilled the propane tanks as quick as I did.
You know why the WNBA will continue to fail? Two reasons. One, the wrong people are in charge, and I'm not saying this in terms of gender, because you got some terrific people that actually have seats in the WNBA. The big problem is you're not marketing it to the right people. Now you have a couple of players that you can market around and bring in a load of money. And the biggest draw is going to be Caitlin Clark. BGS and I talked about this over the weekend. Use her to your advantage, y'all. You have someone that's been that is as great a sharpshooter as one Cynthia Cooper. All right, you have someone in the league right now that's about as marketable, even more so than Lisa Leslie. And y'all know y'all built the league around her, and she was good for a while. Not saying she wasn't through the entirety of her career, but you have a chance now, WNBA, to market around your draft class, and especially, I was about to say including, especially Caitlin Clark, and go. You already got one team in the defending two-time champion Las Vegas Aces that have changed their arena for when the Fever show up. You want to know something crazy? A lot of people are not going to think about this, but I'm going to think about it ahead of time for you. What if the Fever and the Chicago Sky this year met in the Eastern Conference Final?
Ooh.
And what if one of those two went up against Cameron Brink and the Los Angeles Sparks for the championship? Now, I have often said and will continue to say, to be the champs, you got to unseat the champs. For that to happen, got to go through Las Vegas. And Las Vegas ain't no slouch. Okay? Las Vegas is no slouch. None. None. N-U-N-N. None. I'm just going to throw a what-if scenario, and I'll throw it out again. What if the Fever and the Sky, if not this year, then next year, started a rivalry for the Eastern Conference Championship? Because the last time those two teams played for the Eastern Conference title, there was a player by the name of Candace Parker who led her hometown team not only to the Eastern Conference Championship, but the WNBA Championship in a 4-game conquest. Who the hell to say it won't happen again? Now, Chicago's already at a deficit because they've lost Camila Cardoso for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And during a 40-game season, that can wipe out a lot of time. But just look ahead. You got Caitlin Clark, drafted first overall. The entire state of Indiana, which is where I live, is going crazy over Caitlin Clark. And from what I could tell with her first game, this Indiana Fever team is going to come up fast. Take advantage of it. Market the league around Caitlin Clark. She is the real deal. She is a personality you can trust. She is a player you can trust. All the defenses are going to try to stop her the same way NBA defenses try to stop Stephen Curry. Matter of fact, look at the players you got in the league now. Let me go back a year. Sabrina Ionescu, Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese, and Caitlin Clark. You got the players there. And then to outline an article that Victor sent, a video, I beg your pardon, that Victor sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
Will you take race out of the doggone equation? Give me this button. Let me say it real. Will you take race out of the damn equation, please? It's about who plays the best night after night after night. It has nothing to do with race, especially with a certain person, and I'll use the term very loosely, that said, why don't Angel Reese have a Nike deal? Probably because Angel Reese is good, but she ain't Caitlin Clark. And the two of them are good friends. Trust me when I tell you, Angel Reese will get her 8-figure deal just as Caitlin Clark has. But at this present time, even though Angel Reese beat Caitlin Clark for a national championship a year ago, Clark got even. Okay. You got the two players you need that can turn into Bird and Magic to save the WNBA. The same way Bird and Magic saved the NBA in 1979.
Or Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
They're right there. Use them. Put the right people in place that could market the daylights out of them. And you might want to market them to women. You just might want to market the WNBA to what should be and could be your chief audience. Got that? Good. Now get. Now I feel better.
I was about to say.
Yes.
And haven't we seen a Chicago-Indiana matchup in an Eastern Conference final a handful of times before?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 2014 and 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
let's spin the clock back to the NBA for the exact same two teams. It's been done. It's been magic.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Nor would I.
I mean, you said it. Indiana is in a fever pitch right now, pun intended, dealing with Caitlin Clark. I mean, come on. Pat McAfee on his show yesterday was rocking a Caitlin Clark jersey.
Yeah.
And later this summer, so will I.
The fact of the matter is, look at how marketable Caitlin Clark is.
Yes.
The moment she got drafted, a dozen commercials released.
Right. They're both.
The commercials were coming while she was in Iowa.
Both she and Angel are both very marketable.
Yes.
It's really going to come down to what they do in the league now that they're there.
You know what? Ryan poses a great idea. If you want true rivalries, do what the NLL did and erase the conferences and see if those teams go to the final. That's how you build a rivalry. He's right.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right.
I mean,
because polarizing the masses equals cheap clicks, produces cheap clicks. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, market the players, not the race they're in. Stop it.
But that's what gets them clicks. That's what gets them views. Is let's make it a race thing.
Okay, and how about we just take race out of the picture right now? You got two black guys and a white dog talking women's basketball. There's no race factor here. We talk sports.
Exactly.
There you go. Problem solved.
And no politics allowed.
Exactly.
You hear that?
And then
no politics allowed.
And then what you sent me earlier about Caitlin Clark's GPA, man, if I had her GPA, I would not have had the beatings that I had all throughout high school.
I did, and I still got a couple of them.
3.64.
3.64.
You're 0.4 away from a 4.0.
Listen, I carried 3.5 all through high school. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I also love is, many people will not read that article in full, which I did, and will try to figure on why Caitlin Clark's Olympic standing would be in jeopardy.
Right.
It's pretty simple. If I don't finish my degree, my mom will kick my ass.
Exactly.
She's got her priorities straight. She knows basketball ain't going to be the key to life.
Let me say it again.
That we wish that the NBA players would also learn.
True.
Yeah, play 4 years in college and get your degree, then come to the NBA. Maybe basketball, maybe NBA basketball will be saved then. Maybe being the operative word. But let me say it again. Caitlin Clark is a marketing major. She has not finished her degree yet. Her Olympic standing, and rightfully so, is in jeopardy. Not because of her talent, not because of what she can't do off the floor, but her reasoning is pretty simple. And I love every single part of this sentence. If I don't finish my degree, my mother will kick my ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I was in her shoes, I'd have the same exact sentence.
I would too.
Oh, yeah.
The belt is still there. No matter how old you are, it's still there.
Like, Brian, why aren't you playing for the Olympics? Because if I don't finish my degree, my dad will kick my ass.
Exactamundo.
Oh, yeah.
But aren't you? It doesn't matter how old I am. If I don't finish my degree, my father, or in this case, my wife, will kick my ass.
Exactly.
It wasn't matter. My wife finna kick my ass. That's what's the matter. That's what Caitlin Clark is saying about her degree and something that she really believes in. I don't finish my degree, my mother will beat the hell out of me.
But also take consideration.
I mean that playfully, but
yeah.
Look, the exact sentence was, my mother will be very mad at me if I don't finish my degree. Now, I'm having fun with it by saying, I don't finish my degree, my mother will kick my ass.
Well, take consideration also, how many NBA players got that big contract and either flamed out or got injured, and that money dried up. And that money dried up. I still remember his name escapes me. There was a Chicago Bulls player who, soon after he got signed, got into a motorcycle accident and broke his leg and was never able to play.
Jay Williams.
Yeah.
Jay Williams.
And he didn't have an education, college education.
And to think he played at Duke University. And to hear some of the stuff that spits out of his mouth, and the four-letter network actually trusts him, dumbasses.
My point is that there's a reason why a lot of people, even though you're going into the league, they still want you to get a full education. I mean, what did Michael Jordan major in?
Journalism.
Yeah.
Journalism.
Why do you think he barely has any media scandals? Because he knows journalism.
And he also knows how to market things. And look what he's done with look what he's done with look what he's done with 2311 Racing with Denny Hamlin.
Right?
That team has sparked itself.
But that's the thing about Caitlin Clark. She seems very, very personable. Not saying that Angel Reese is not, but she seems very personable.
Listen, not saying that at all. Okay, Angel Reese is very personable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just think of the popularity. That's where you have to base this off of. The popularity of Caitlin Clark is through the roof.
Well, let's also take it to this standpoint. You can be a fan of both of them.
Which I am.
You can be a fan of both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and you don't have to sit there and be like, well, because Angel Reese is black, I should be more, Angel Reese fan. No, be a fan of both of them.
Man, I will not make a political statement on air after what I just declared. No politics involved.
It's getting to the point where, unfortunately, politics and sports have gone hand in hand. It shouldn't be that way.
Not here, it ain't. Not here. Period.
And I agree, Sick. A lot of race baiting is done by talking heads with ulterior motives.
Yeah, we know.
Bottom line views and get some. You're right. You're absolutely right, Sick.
We know half of them, unfortunately, and don't forget their sponsors. Absolutely.
The four-letter network does it all the time.
Yeah.
which is why I don't watch anymore. I mean,
Seems
I
like
watch
the only
the
one who
play-by-play
doesn't-
coverage.
Seems like the only one who doesn't get political is McAfee.
Yeah, and that unfortunately made him
Unfortunately, the 4-letter network swallowed him up.
Now here's the thing. There is so much talent in this draft class for the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to be an absolute fool not to watch or too busy.
That will come from me later this week because, Victor, you just touched a nerve that I was sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
That'll come later this week. But coming up next... Oh, God, I shouldn't.
Oh, no.
I shouldn't.
Another audible.
I'll decide when I get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
This is a BS3 network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Man Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me
I
something.
finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive. If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get...
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
1 hour in, and we got a lot of feelings off our chest.
Yeah.
Especially Victor's about Dak Prescott. I'm sorry.
For right now, he is Trash Scott. Now he has a chance to make amends this year, but no, he has played like Garbino.
I came back early because of this right here, and this kind of outlines everything we have been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice that most of the people are piling on Caitlin Clark are mostly black, quote, journalists, unquote, or white ones that have a liberal bent to their views?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been seeing this since my first journalism class.
Absolutely. We've seen it a lot.
And He also gives this suggestion: if I were Angel Reese's parents, I'd hire an image consultant / publicist. She needs to up her marketability. Ain't that the truth?
True.
Not wrong.
Everybody can use. Listen, everybody can use it.
Oh yeah,
that's true. That's true. I was gonna say her marketability is gonna come when she's on the court.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem like she's
but think about the way they think.
Yeah.
Think about the way these black quote unquote journalists, who ain't journalists after all, Rod West, think.
Ooh.
Think how they think.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm taking a direct shot because that.
Here we go.
Don't even bring it up. Don't even bring it up. He's not worth it.
He's not.
He's not worth it. Here's the thing. A lot of the drama draws money.
Drama. Yeah.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Draws money.
So here's the thing. I started watching Tales from the Territories. It's a tremendous show. Only had one season though. It shows all the wrestling territories, and the first one they did was Memphis with Jerry the King Lawler, Jerry Jarrett, Jimmy Hart. One thing that was brought up was a sign that was above the door of Jerry Jarrett's office called "Personal Issues Draw Money." What do you think these organizations are doing? These journalists,
same thing.
They're setting up personal
issues draws money
to draw money, and one of the big personal issues that they can bring up is something that divides us, which is race. Even when it doesn't need to be there.
It's called race. And it's sad that it's come to that.
And it's like, let these young ladies just be them. Angel Reese shouldn't be the forerunner for all, for black women's basketball. Same thing for Caitlin Carr. She shouldn't be just the forerunner for, white women's basketball. It should be just these two ladies are just two of some of the best in this draft class. And they just want to play basketball. Leave them alone.
At least we recognize that.
Yes, just enjoy what's on the court. Enjoy what's on the court.
All right. I'm making a change. JJ will join us tomorrow for a full hour of baseball talk. To have him at the top of this hour, which I had planned, and only do like 20, 30 minutes, it wouldn't have been right.
Yeah,
so we're going to have him tomorrow. Yeah, we got to do some baseball talk. And he's one of my baseball experts. So he's going to come on tomorrow.
Okay.
Which means I am calling an audible.
Moan him!
Shut up!
Yeah.
Like I said, I am calling an audible.
Moan him!
Shut up!
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
And before you start, Sig Diggy does make a valid point. You're not going to see the current WNBA players throw down like the men in the NBA did back in the 80s. It's not going to work. You're right. However, you will see a lot of really good women's basketball. Some we haven't seen since their heyday. When Cheryl
fundamental
Leslie,
in my book, fundamental basketball rules.
Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, and the crew were doing it up and really making a splash. I just want to get to that level.
You're not wrong. That'd be awesome to see.
Oh, now what?
What the hell just got blown up?
Breaking news.
Apparently, there's a rumor going around.
Oh, no.
That the Dallas Cowboys are reportedly interested in a trade for Steelers Pro Bowl running back Najee Harris.
That's not happening. And why? You just got Zeke back. Why would you even attempt that?
If they pull this off,
you fool!
That's all I got to say.
It's not happening because I don't see Najee going there.
Nah, I don't either. Okay, that's it. That's the end of that.
Yeah. Just,
yeah.
Okay. 10 after the hour. We got that out of the way. And now I'm finally going to tie in Darvin Ham's firing, a response to one of my posts from a very dear friend. And I'm going to pull it all on this neat little bow. Let's try this again.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now give me this camera.
Okay.
I shouldn't do this and I should save it to tomorrow, but I can't help it. Because two of my dear friends responded to a post that I put up. It reads as follows, quote, "Quit giving old man Braun excuses. Anyone who read the tea leaves from 100 miles away knew that he went to LA for reasons of convenience. He is the most below mediocre, and yes, I said below mediocre basketball player I've ever seen. He's done nothing to influence the game, and he's done not a doggone thing to change the game. End of story." Well, Trey Larkin says, "Stop trolling." William J. Shea called me a troll. Jojo Berg gave me some applause. One of my dear friends, Angus Black, wrote, "Wow, below mediocre." And I will tell you that I'm not saying he's TBE, the best ever, but I'm just wondering how you can call dude below mediocre. Like this. Have you seen him play? I will continue. How many times has he gone to the playoffs in consecutive seasons as the number one option? I get that you may not care. Like, dude, but come on. Kiss my entire ass.
Here's the other thing.
I got another one. Andy Dorf and I got in a fight.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we gonna fight. Andy, I love you dearly, and I knew this would draw a rise of it. If you tell yourself enough lies, you start to believe them, I guess. Some takes are better than others. I don't like how he gets coaches fired so often. However, not being able to recognize his greatness is beyond comprehension. I love you, Andy Dorf. I love you dearly, and I love coming on your show, but what greatness? Are you kidding? Dude hasn't been great since he came into the give me this button damn league 21 years ago. He sucks. Have you seen him play? Have you seen how many times he does not get called for traveling or for flopping or whatever the give me this. Whatever it is. Huh? How can I say he's not great? Easy. He ain't great. He's below mediocre. Matter of fact, he's below mediocre. Period. The only reason that people are hyping him up is because he got a what do I call it? A stimulus package the size of the state of Ohio in 2016. He blows, and you Bronzexuals blow right along with him. You got that? He sucks. Matter of fact, I'll repeat something I said 2 years ago before I went under the knife for my cancer surgery. LeBron James is trash. And you bronsexuals are even more trash. Matter of fact, I'll use the current vernacular. LeBron James is ass. And you bronsexuals are even more ass to even think that you can hold him up after this time, after he keeps getting coaches fired, including Darvin Ham. I said all along, and I will say it again, the wrong person got cut from the Lakers. The wrong person was Darvin Ham. The right person, if Jeannie Buss had any balls, would be to tell LeBron and Anthony Davis, get the off my team and don't come back. Stupid bitches. And I'm not taking none of this back. I am not taking none of this back. Because for 21 years, we have had LeBron James and bronsexuals shoved down our throats and up our asses. And frankly, an old basketball soul like me is tired. I'm tired. And more to the point, why I haven't watched playoffs this year, I'm done. Now get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
Now that I got that off my chest, I got to find something because we have someone special coming after the break. Back in a minute.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, AKA Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got CarShield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave CarShield a call. Coverage was very affordable and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic, they called CarShield and saved my family on $2,400.
CarShield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give CarShield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
CarShield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street y'all done had problems, maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Use a troll. Troll! Use a troll. Troll! Use a troll. I said that, use a troll. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome back. Oh, thank you, Shane, because I got to hit 2 buttons, man. This right here does not know a thing about sports and does not belong. So I'm glad you booted him. KP from KC5 is in the house with us. Braun is done and his crying can't save him. Braun is more black man fired than Kobe and Jordan combined. Christopher Clipper joins us. Christopher, where are you watching from? I'm going to shout you out properly. The truth has been spoken. Damn right. And he says, and good morning to you. Thank you. And this is what pissed me off during the break. Well, let's fix that and him. Here's Chris Dietz, and he joins us right now. What up, Dietz?
Hey, what's up, Snowman and Big Dog? What's happening?
How are you,
brother?
man?
Holla. Dietz is here.
Dietz is here indeed.
Hey.
All right. Since trolls want to say we don't give out draft grades, and we haven't had a chance to because we had a whole lot of hilarity on this show, let's do so. But first, we begin.
Before we get to, I know, I like to come in and break stuff up, but I want to get to your point. I want to get to the point that you were just making because I want to set this guy straight about LeBron James.
Please do.
LeBron James' legacy in basketball is not a positive one. Everything he has done has negatively affected the game of basketball.
Period.
And you look back at other greats. Jordan, positive effect on basketball. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, positive effect on basketball. Magic Johnson, positive effect on basketball. Kobe Bryant brought basketball back when it was basketball was dying at that point. Kobe Bryant brought it back.
He sure did.
Steph Curry has irreparably changed the game from the three-pointer being a luxury to the three-pointer being a weapon.
Yes.
He has changed the game immensely. And the reason I can say this, and to anybody that wants to defute, we always say defute it in the chat. Go ahead, tell me why you're wrong. But to the point of this was made in the national championship game when the greatest college team of all time was on television. And of course, that's the UConn Huskies. And Jay Wright was breaking down how UConn runs their offense and how everybody runs around, everybody's in motion. The guys are setting screens, guys are doing back cuts, guys are doing all this stuff. And so Jay Wright was doing a great job of explaining that. And Kenny Smith said something, and I'll tell you what he said, and then I'll give you my immediate reaction. Kenny Smith said, as a shooter, and we all know Kenny Smith was a great shooter in his day. He said, when I look at UConn's offense, as a shooter, I'm excited for this offense because when you're moving around and you're doing things and you're in the flow of the game, you don't lose momentum. You don't lose your hot streak. You keep your momentum going. So even if the ball doesn't come to you, you still feel like part of the offense.
Yeah.
And then he said, as opposed to guys who dribble the ball at the top of the key, when you're a shooter and you're standing in the corner, if you don't get the ball, you're going to go cold. And when he said that, my immediate reaction was, that's the LeBron James effect of basketball, is get the ball at the top, play one-on-one, and when they collapse on you, then you kick it out. But that's his legacy. And you look at what UConn is doing. UConn is destroying teams because they're moving around, and it's like Kenny Smith said, when guys are stagnant, they get cold. Well, no one on UConn gets cold because they're running around like chickens with their head cut off. And so I've been waiting to come on your show and express that to you guys. It's been a while, but I know the championship's been over for a while, but I wanted to get that out there, and I figured on a LeBron day, I could throw that out there.
But the way that you expertly broke that down, okay, has been the quote unquote LeBron James era.
It's the ISO effect, which we said has never worked, save for like AI. But the whole idea of the ISO of like doing the and one moves at the top of the key. Meanwhile, you still got four other guys who just sitting there with their hands in their pockets. Give them the ball. You may not have a great shot, no matter how good your handles are.
All right, let's go on to current business and let's shut Malik Jones up.
Yeah.
Your initial thoughts, Dietz, as we're talking AFC draft grades today on OBJ to the Dolphins. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I blanked out.
Well, adding to that receiver core is always going to be a good thing. You've got we saw the quarterback. We saw him come back from what everybody said was a catastrophic injury. He shined through his concussion. So the only thing you can do to make that offense better is get more weapons. And with a guy like Tyreek Hill that can take the top off, OBJ is the perfect fit for that offense because he's not afraid to run underneath. He's not afraid to be that guy. You already have the speedsters on the side, so to add another weapon is always going to help Miami. And with Buffalo being where they are, that division is ripe for the taking. So they might as well go all in right now.
The one thing that concerns me about Miami, and I've said it before and I will continue to say it again, they're leaning on Raheem Mostert, and we know about his injury history of being the bell cow running back. Can he do that?
Well, you saw it last year. He doesn't have to. He can be the pound for pound through the tackles guy, but the rookie from Texas A&M that he had last year, Etienne was their home run hitter.
Yeah.
So Etienne can, he can give that spell to Mostert that, and again, being that he was a rookie last year, probably prohibited his number of snaps his number of snaps is only going to increase with the more playing time he gets, the more he gets incorporated with the offense. His snaps are going to go up, which is going to take Mostert's snaps down, which is going to help Mostert, who we all know injury history and injury history of running backs is always there. But the more you give, the more you spread the load out. Raheem Mostert is not going to have. He's not going to have to carry the water, because Etienne can be that spark plug that they need. So
talk about this Dolphins draft class and who they brought in and who can be an immediate impact for them.
Hold on, I just have to bring up the Dolphins draft class.
I got it right in front of me, D.
Go ahead, Shane.
I got it right here. They got Chop Robinson for linebacking at Penn State. Okay, go ahead then.
I just remember off the top, right when you said it, I was like, oh, they took Chop. I really like Chop Robinson. And from what you see from him is you get a guy who is not just a one-trick edge rusher. He's not just, he's going to beat you off the edge. He's a powerful guy. He can muscle up with the best of them. So that to me is what I really like out of him, is that he can do it both ways. So if you try to make him go wide on you, he's got the speed to get around the edge. If you take away the edge, he's going to run right through you. So I like that. For the rest of their draft was meh. They basically took guys who were there. Jalen Wright is going to be the guy that makes or breaks this draft for them. The running back from Tennessee.
Yes.
And like we just said, running back by committee is going to be their thing there. But I do question him. I question how much he's going to get on the field.
Yeah.
In a crowded backfield, because he's not a speed guy. He's not really a power guy. He's kind of just a tweener. Well,
he's kind of like your cutter. He's kind of your slasher. Like, he's going to make some really like deep cuts and some juke moves. I think that's going to be what his MO is going to be. Kind of a little like how Barry Sanders should be, except he doesn't have the Barry Sanders body.
No, he doesn't.
I like that.
Or the Barry Sanders speed, or the Barry Sanders agility, or
yeah.
He doesn't have that.
Chris Deeds joining us talking AFC draft grades. Which AFC team to you made the biggest impact and can bring it during the regular season immediately?
It's bad. I don't know if this is bad for the NFL. I don't know if this is good for the NFL, but the team that made the biggest impact, and to me, the team that made the biggest impact in the NFL overall on draft day was your Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, when you're the Super Bowl champ and you can get significantly better.
Yep.
That's a bad. When I say bad, that's a bad look for everybody else in the NFL, because the best team just got better.
Yes, the team that gets the last picks, and they still probably won the draft,
and they still got better. I mean, for them to snatch,
we got to give a little assist. We got to give a little assist, though. I mean, Buffalo helped them out for reasons I still can't figure out. I still can't figure out what Buffalo got in that trade.
I have no idea. I have no clue.
That was one of the most ridiculous trades I've ever seen. I think Buffalo moved up in the third round. That was all they got out of that trade. And then Kansas City goes out and takes the Right, the kid from Texas, or Worthy. They took Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy. What everybody said prior to draft and on draft night. Who does Xavier Worthy remind you of? Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Where did Tyreek Hill make it? Where did Tyreek Hill make a big impact? Kansas City with Pat Mahomes. It's like the best fit, and they just go out and get him.
And I still don't know what Buffalo was thinking, to echo your thoughts, Dietz. I mean, that was the most head-scratching trade.
They lost the draft.
They lost big. Buffalo is in trouble, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, I was talking to a Buffalo fan after the draft, and I asked him. I said, "Your team needs a wide receiver. You traded out of the first round twice. Both teams that traded with you took wide receivers. What are you doing?"
Like, we don't want to win today. We don't want to win.
We don't want to win for a while. That's how I'm looking at it.
I hate to say it, but I think the Bills Mafia has been listening to Devon and Bubba too many times because they're going through way too many tables.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just jumping through tables just to do so.
I think they've taken. I think the Buffalo Bills have really missed the assessment of Josh Allen. And don't get me wrong, Josh Allen has been great. Josh Allen has exceeded all. I will always say this: he has exceeded all of my expectations going in. I didn't have much faith in him. Look where he is; it's undeniable. He's great. But when did he become the Josh Allen that's taken over the league? When he got Stephon Diggs. Who's gonna replace Stephon Diggs there? There's no replacement. Gabriel Davis is a good second, third option.
But only one game made.
There's no number one option. What are you going to do?
But only one game, in my opinion, made Gabe Davis. And that was the playoff classic against, what do you know, Kansas City. That's the only game to me that made Gabe Davis. Am I wrong for thinking that?
No, you're not.
I don't think so.
So why did they give up on
Gabe Davis? He's a great. But again, that was with Stephon Diggs on the other side. If you're defensive coordinator right now and you're looking at Buffalo, well, obviously you're going to double team Gabe Davis, and who else is going to beat you on that offense? Maybe Kincaid, but he's a tight end. Your tight end's not going to dominate the league. You're not going to dominate the league unless you have guys on the outside that can give one-on-one matchups. Right now they look like a pretty easy offense to diagnose.
Here's a team I want to look at, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. Why don't you hand them a grade and how they did?
I really like what the Ravens did. And they were methodical in the draft. They filled the needs that they needed to get. Just looking at it, Nate Wiggins. I loved the Nate Wiggins pick. No, at that point in the draft, and you know what the Ravens' problem for a couple of years now has been, their secondary just gets torn apart. Hey, go back and watch when they played Miami last year. When they played Miami last year, they were up, and then all of a sudden, the Dolphins went out and threw for like 500 yards in the fourth quarter because they couldn't stop anybody. So you go out and get. So what do you do to help that? You go out and get a shutdown. You get a shutdown corner. That's, I think, the tackle from Washington, Rosengarten. He's got so much upside, and I always say this in the draft: upside scares me.
Yeah,
because when everybody's talking about how this guy's got upside, that means they're not good yet.
That means they haven't reached
it. Not everybody reaches that top level. So he's got a ways to go, but he is a monster of a human being. So
linemen
that's the other thing that they need.
Mm-hmm. A lot of offensive linemen were drafted in this.
It was like the whole.
We're staying with the AFC. Besides Buffalo, who lost in this draft and in this offseason period?
You could say the easy answer is the Cleveland Browns. And just because without having a first round pick, with all the all the sanctions that were against them for the Deshaun Watson deal, all of that is going to stem on what happens going further with Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson is able to perform, then it's less of a burden. But if it's like last year where he gets hurt, misses the bulk of the season, well, then you're going to look at that deal and say, well, that deal was garbage. So the easy answer is the Cleveland Browns. But my answer would be the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And
Denver did take massive.
They didn't do so good in this draft, did they?
No.
And it goes back to something I've been on. You've talked to me about college football for the last 6 years, which is surprisingly the 6 years that Bo Nix has played in college.
Bo Nix has played. Yep.
And we got to see him every year. Last year was the first year where he showed he had any kind of skill. For his first 5 years of college football, there's 5 years of tape where I can go back and say, you had elite receivers at Auburn and you couldn't get them the ball.
And you couldn't get them the ball.
Because you were inaccurate. You were as inaccurate a passer as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He threw more interceptions in the COVID season than I've ever seen.
Yes, I agree with that. No argument here.
So for people, I had a lot of talks about Bo Nix going, Bo Nix had such a great season. I'm like, 1 out of 6. Like, does that mean that Bo Nix hasn't figured it? Maybe he figured it out. Maybe he got a new quarterback coach. Maybe they taught him some new skills. Maybe he did. Maybe he figured it out, and now he's got it under. But I tend to believe in the 5 years as opposed to if 1 year stands out, I tend to go back on the 5 that I saw him play god awful quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's not going to have any excuse because they got quite a few receivers. They also drafted quite a few receivers for him. So he's going to have weapons.
They did.
So he's not going to have an excuse that he doesn't have weapons.
Tell me, but Dietz, tell me, and I want your honest opinion on why, besides Bo Nix, why you thought Denver went kablooey in the draft.
Well, it basically goes to pretty much, and again, one pick doesn't make or break your draft, but to see what they got in this draft, Jonah Eslis, the edge rusher from Utah, I really didn't see him as. I don't see him as an impact player in the. I see him as an edge guy. A guy who comes in a nickel situation. I don't see him as an every down guy on the field.
Every down back, yeah.
You know, one of the guys they got is a guy I've watched all the time. Estimate, the running back from Notre Dame. In this era of football, a running back is not going to make or break your draft.
Yeah.
A running back is barely going to impact your team, especially if you have a team that I didn't see them get. They didn't take a lineman until the 7th round. Their line is atrocious.
Yes. Yes, I saw that too, and I scratched my head so violently I thought I was going to bleed. I was like, "You got Bo Nix, you got a bunch of wide receivers. Where's your line?"
How many times have we said that? Deetz, you were with me last year when I did when we covered the draft. How many times have we said that? I think we lost him.
Yeah, there's no audio.
Yeah, there's no audio.
Deetz, check your audio, buddy. Check your audio.
It goes to show you what happened. Just look at the first round. Just look at the first round. Teams that did well in the first round, who did they take? They took big-time offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They took big time. We got you now. We got you now,
bro. You're good.
We got you now.
You're good. You're good.
Here's a team I'm long.
Am I good now?
Waiting.
Yes, you're fine.
We got you.
All right. No.
Here's a team I cannot wait for Deetz to break down because
teams that did well took offensive linemen to support their quarterback.
Yes. Yes, they did. I talked about one early this morning with how the Cowboys really started beefing up their offensive line. They took some defensive individuals. They took a wide receiver and getting back Zeke. They really tried their best to beef up the offensive line.
They did. Now here's a team in the AFC that I love when Deetz goes off on them, and that's the San Diego Chargers. Please hand them the break for me.
The Superchargers.
Now I gotta pick that song out. Damn you, Victor.
The thing about the San Diego Chargers is I love the guy they took in the first round. I love Joel. I thought Joel could have been. I thought he could have been the top pick. He could have been anywhere from 1 to 5 in that draft. Luckily, all those quarterbacks went, and he just happens to fall to as I still say the San Diego Chargers.
Same here.
But I thought they had a very good draft. I thought they improved. I thought they improved their roster very well, and I love Ladd McConkey. I love Ladd McConkey.
Yes,
I think he's going to be a stud in the NFL,
especially when you got Justin Herbert throwing to him.
He's got great catch radius. We saw his catch radius in the national championship game against TCU. He can go up and get. He's not the biggest guy, but he can go up and get it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the make or break with we always talk about this. We always talk about make or break. The make or break pick for the Chargers is going to be Cam Hart.
Yeah,
Cam Hart at Notre Dame had so much potential. Mm-hmm. So if they can get his head right, he can be a very good player.
Chris Dietz joining us here on the program talking AFC draft grades. We're coming up against a break, but there's one more team there's one division I want you to gauge. Gauge the AFC South for us.
The AFC South, the AFC South, tough to pick because Houston mortgaged their future for everything they did last year. So they didn't have picks in this draft. So
fair.
As far as a draft grade for the entire division, it was middle grade. I think Indianapolis helped themselves out. Liatu, the kid from Washington / UCLA.
Yep.
If he's healthy, he'll be fine. But when you've had a neck injury like he had, it's very scary. But obviously he passed everything, and people way more into it than I am. they cleared him. So I as long as he's healthy, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I think Indianapolis did well. The Jacksonville Jaguars got what they needed. I thought maybe they could get another playmaker at wide receiver to make up for the loss of Calvin Ridley, but I'm not too high on Brian Thomas as being that kind of a player, but I think he'll fit in that offense. But
how will he fit?
Overall, they were middle of the road. I would say if we were giving him a grade, it would be somewhere between a B and a B minus.
How will he fit in that offense? Since we're talking about
he'll slide into the number three role. He'll be the third option.
Okay.
In that offense.
All right. Oh man, this has been fun. Christy's joining us here on the program, handing out some grades for.
I think he'll be a guy. He'll be a guy. He won't be the number one target, but
yeah.
What are your thoughts on Bauer going to the Raiders?
Hey,
thank you. I nearly thank you, Brock Bauer.
Snowman. I did notice something with the San Diego Chargers draft, though,
and that is
you know who they. Oh, I'll get to Bowers in a minute, but I want to hear Snowman's reaction. Did you hear the Charger? Did you see the Chargers' 7th round pick?
Remind me.
Brendan Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Do you know why? You know why I bring that name up?
Mm-hmm.
His father happens to be pretty good at the position.
His father just happens to be number 80, Jerry Rice out of Mississippi Valley State.
Brendan Rice is Jerry Rice's son.
Yep.
Mr. Wide Receiver.
Mr. Wide Receiver himself and Jerry Rice. All right, we're up against the break. Dietz,
Brendan Rice's father
just happens to be good at what he does. Dietz, tomorrow, to alleviate the problem, I'm going to have you come on audibly so we can make sure we get all our technical situations straightened out. But thanks for coming on, man. Really, really appreciate it. Totally appreciate it.
Yep.
All right.
And of course, let's not forget.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's not forget everyone joining us on the Invader Coffee hotline. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless.
Go to invadercoffee.com and use the code Snowman for 15% off of your order. We got a few minutes left in the hour. We're going to have a little fun. And then Kelly Jo Schultz will join to talk about her broadcast career. Back in a minute.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
IRS, open up. The IRS is the most feared agency in the country and has the power to seize assets, garnish wages, and even put you in jail for back taxes and unfiled tax returns. Don't be a victim. Call Kick IRS right now and let us kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all. Our powerful team of tax experts will fight hard for you and will not stop until we've resolved your tax problems on your terms. And if you qualify, we may even reduce or eliminate your tax debt altogether. No more sleepless nights wondering when the IRS is going to come after you. Take control of your tax problems today and make the phone call. We have an A rating with a Better Business Bureau, and we offer a 100% written guarantee, so there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. The consultation is free and the phone call is free. So pick up the phone right now and kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all.
Call 800-807-8188. That's 800-807-8188. 800-807-8188.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for...
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Okay, Shane O'Mac, what'd you nail Malik for this time? Talk to me.
Oh, that whole bull dealing with, him talking, we haven't done grades, all this bull crap, dude. It's like, come on, I'm done with us.
Good.
Listen, I'm gonna just say
Road,
this,
Jack,
and
don't you come back no more.
I'm just saying this, and that's gonna be it. To Malik and to many others like that, we don't run the show the way you want it run.
Thank you.
You want to run a show, you run it, you start it. We will get to everything we can get to. Sports is not a linear thing. There's all types of updates, all types of new breaking news stories, all types of stuff like that. So for you to come out and try to disrespect what we do shows your character, not ours.
And I'm going to hit you with a damn Yoshi hammer.
I'm going to hit him with this.
You go to SeaWorld or something? Where all these seals come from?
You fool! Tiger uppercut!
You.
What in the all types of blue hell? Tiger, yoga, fire. I'm the juggernaut, bitch. Come on.
And I think our good friend Samuel L. Jackson is the perfect way to cap this.
Yeah.
Not yet, because that would require playing the entire clip, and can't do it. But I can say,
What the hell's going on out here?
that's when he shows up. That's when he shows up again. All right, 58 after the hour. We got a cut. You know what? Let's bring her on right now. Let's have some fun. Okay. There's another element I'm bringing back to the show, especially when we extend to a full 4 hours. We like to call it mic to mic. This is where I interview a lot of different broadcasters. When I reached out to this lady and I crossed my fingers, okay? Let me just be real. I crossed my fingers. And I said, please, come on to the show and talk about it. She said, hell yeah, I'll do it. Like, what? She said, hell yeah, I'll do it. Okay, cool. So, let's not waste any time. Please help me welcome Kelly Jo Schultz. And she joins us right now. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day here in the Twin Cities and can't complain.
Oh, you're in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I know the pronunciation. I used to live in Minnesota for a while.
Yeah, you guys are coming off of a really hot winning streak out there with that baseball team of yours.
Yeah, the Twins. Yeah, the Twins and their special summer sausage, I think that they finally got rid of. That was disgusting. But you know what? I'm a baseball fan. I have to admit. I'm going to turn my phone so you can see how big of a baseball fan I am. Let's see here. Look at that.
I believe that man's name is Kirby Puckett.
My absolute all-time favorite baseball player. Yeah, Kirby and I go way back. I have every single one of his baseball cards. I collected them when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Actually, growing up, I hardly ever missed a game on the radio. So Herb Carneal was one of my favorites, actually one of my inspirations for getting into sports broadcasting. So
I love it. Speaking of Kirby Puckett, I believe the call goes in the deep left center for Mitchell.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. That was one of the best moments in Minnesota sports history.
One of the first cards that I picked up when I first started collecting baseball cards was Kirby Puckett.
Mine too.
Mine too.
We're all in unison here,
right?
And actually, crazy story. I bought my very first Puckett card in Cincinnati after the 1988 All-Star game.
Ooh,
nice.
So there you have it.
So she's just going all old school. Kirby Puckett. She brings up 88, and of course that was the miracle of Kirk Gibson and the only at bat he took in that World Series.
Yes.
And I gotta share this. When we were talking about in high school, when we were talking about the 88 World Series, most of us were picking the Athletics to win.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Dodgers were just so beat up with injuries, especially to their lightning bug and Kirk Gibson. Man, I walked out of the room when the count went to 2-2. I went out of the room. My dad brings me back into the room, and just as I get in there, Kirk Gibson takes that one-arm swing and walks off. And we all are just sitting there, my mother included, looking at the television going, what?
What just happened?
I got to school that following Monday, and all my friends are looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and we're going, what the hell was that? He never took another at bat in that series. Oral Hershiser just pitched his lights out. And you're a Twins fan. You should recognize this name. I watched Game 7 of the World Series in 91 in full and got there's the tears forming in her eyes.
Yeah, 91 was a good year too.
Because of one of my favorite pitchers of all time, Jack the Cat Morris.
Oh, yes. Jack Morris was he was amazing. An incredible pitcher. I had a chance to meet him at a benefit shortly thereafter.
You're making me jealous. Now you met Jack the Cat Morris, okay?
He was a cool dude. He was really a cool dude. And, he kind of got a bad rap here in Minnesota. Some people liked him. Some people didn't. I never had a bad experience. I mean, the one time I met him, he was awesome. Just a nice guy.
Good.
But, like any other athlete, there's all kinds of stories about people out there. But yeah, 91 was an incredible year to be a Minnesota Twins fan. And, just coming off of the 87 World Series and then to be back at it again, pretty incredible. And actually, it's funny because there haven't been many Minnesota teams since then that have been that successful, except for maybe the Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine any time in the postseason, let alone deep in the postseason, without having Minnesota in there. I mean, look at what the Timberwolves are doing now. Up 2-0 against Dallas. I mean, you don't see anyone going up against Denver. You don't see anyone going into a previous champ's house and going up 2-0 on their floor.
Nope, not at all. It's been a great series so far, and the Timberwolves are having such a great season. Minnesota's also got their professional women's hockey league team, Minnesota, also in the postseason. That was just announced yesterday. They play their first game at Toronto tonight. Very excited. I'm hoping to get a ticket to the May 13th game here at the XL Energy Center. Just Minnesota sports are where it's at now. If only my Minnesota Vikings could do something.
Well, they got rid of 2 Chainz. You guys might be helped out by that.
My condolences to Paul Allen, because
you know what?
When we're on the show, we always talk about the craziness and the majesty of one PA, Paul Allen.
She mentioned Herb Carneal, the longtime voice of the Minnesota Twins. I gotta share this. What got me to like Paul Allen? Because the first time I heard him, I didn't like him at all.
Yeah, he's definitely a different. He's a character.
He is. because, and then I started listening to him more and how he calls games. And then Victor opened his mouth. He said, dude, that's how you do it for your teams. Like, what? And then I wouldn't listen to a couple of my old games. And I'm like, doggone it, he's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
If there is, I was in Starbucks when this happened in 2016, and you know where I'm going. I was in Starbucks when this happened. I'm knee deep in updating my website. I had the Vikings game on against Seattle because I couldn't stand Seattle at the time for many a reason. And then I hear snap good, spot down, Walsh's kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it. I dropped my headphones. And I went, he missed it?
You're going to make me cry, like real tears here in a bit, because that was such a hard. I mean, the Vikings keep breaking my heart, but then to hear Paul Allen's call on those games where they lose by either a field goal or a point, it's heartbreaking because Paul is such a Vikings fan. Mm-hmm. Like, I think he is what every Vikings fan, you either love him or hate him as far as an announcer, but I respect the fact that he is so emotionally invested in my team. So when you listen to him, you're that person that gets I've never heard an announcer get psyched up about a coin toss until I heard Paul Allen. Now, I'm not even kidding you. Listen from the beginning of a game, that man is invested from the very second that microphone opens up. So lots of respect for Paul.
From the second the pregame show starts till the time he signs off and throws it to the postgame show, he is invested for those 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Besides PA and Herb Carneal, who are some of your other idols in play-by-play announcing that like really got to you?
Okay, so this is a crazy story. So I never really was a National League fan until I married my now ex-husband, who is a Milwaukee Brewers fan. And Brian Schultz got me into liking the Brewers. And I said I could be a Brewers fan and I could be a Twins fan because they don't play in the same league, except when they play interleague games, of course. Mm-hmm. But you know where I'm going with this one. Yes. The legend. Oh my gosh. And you know this could be his last year. Oh my gosh.
This could be the swan song for Bobby. And I've listened to many a Brewers game. My team's the White Sox.
Okay. Yeah.
I grew up on the South Side. And I had a chance to meet then in 2005, the voice of the White Sox, who was John Rooney. Mm-hmm. And someone asked me after I went to Sox Fest and I met John Rooney because a friend took me there as a surprise. And he said, how do you think the Sox are going to do this year? And out of my mouth, I said, they're going to win it all. And my friend looked at me and said, what? Then on October 26, 2005, this happened.
A ground ball past Jenks up the middle of the infield. Uribe has it. He throws. Out! A White Sox winner and a world championship. The White Sox have won the World Series, and they're mobbing each other on the field.
I couldn't believe it.
Love it.
Couldn't believe it. I went in my dad's room, and we hugged each other and cried.
Okay, I'm going to say this, that those are the kind of stories. My mom and I never missed a Twins game until the day that she died. And those are the memories I have with my mom. I was only 17 when she passed. She never got to see her team win. Well, she got to see her team win one World Series, but not the second one. So my mom passed in 89. Don't do the math, okay, guys? Because I just told you how old I was. My mom passed away when I was 17. She was 47. And both, she was just as big of a Kirby Puckett fan as I was. And 87, when the Twins won the World Series, she drove me downtown St. Paul to be part of the parade. And it was such a cool experience. So for you, Brian, to be able to share those memories with your dad, that's awesome.
It's crazy. My grandfather got me into baseball first, and he was a South Sider. So Matter of fact, the first team I ever loved was the St. Louis Cardinals because I loved Ozzie Smith.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who didn't love Ozzie? Even I respected him. Those backflips, I loved it.
I loved Ozzie Smith, and I didn't realize at the time that the voice of the Cardinals was Jack Buck.
Yes.
Right. I didn't learn about Jack Buck until a few years later when he was doing Monday Night Football along with the St. Louis Cardinals. So to have all that tie in, and then my dad and I see The Last Out in 2005 and hear John Rooney call it, because we turned down the television. We turned up John Rooney's call because Dad knew radio was my thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Being a play-by-play announcer is my thing, and I know it's big with you. But the first voice that did it for me, besides Jack Buck, was this man.
Michael on the drive across the lane. Turnaround shot. Got it. 63 for Jordan.
And that moment, Jim Durham, 1986, against the Boston Celtics in one of the craziest games I ever watched in my life. And I just had a simple philosophy. If Jim Durham can do it, so can I.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been chasing it for 30 years, almost 30 years. And it's so much fun learning about so many people that get into this business, that want to do play-by-play, that want to really invest in it, you know? And once you invest in it and you do your first game, you don't quit.
No, not at all. I wasn't as lucky to have the female announcers to look up to. Most of my female sportscasters that I looked up to were sideline reporters. Right. You know, the Leslie Vissers, the Michelle Tafoya, Susie Kolber, Hannah Storm, Willow Bay. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of all the women that did sidelines for football. They were part of like the pregame, postgame stuff for baseball. There weren't any women doing play-by-play, and only until real recently have there been any doing any pro sports on the men's side, especially. But on the women's side, there are a few that do the WNBA and NWSL. But really, I kind of, not to toot my own horn, I was the first woman to do play-by-play for hockey in the United States. Now, I don't know about Canada, but I definitely have the U.S., and that was just doing college hockey. But then getting the chance to work with the Minnesota Whitecaps in their inaugural season with the National Women's Hockey League, and then turned into the Premier Hockey Federation. And then I finally got my chance to do my first NHL game, which was so cool. I got a phone call 2 years ago from our athletic department at Bemidji State University, and our sports information director at the time, Tyler Christensen, he's like, "Cal, the New Jersey Devils just reached out to me. Can I give them your phone number?" I'm like, what? Are you for real? I thought it was a prank.
Very happy.
And so he did. He said they're looking for an all-female cast for their International Women's Day celebration on March 8th, 2022. And I said, of course, yeah, absolutely. So the next thing I know, it was a Wednesday. The game was on, I think, the following Tuesday. So it literally had less than a week to prepare. I hadn't watched any of the Devils. I didn't know anything about the Avalanche. Here it was, the worst team in the league, the Devils, playing the team that ended up winning the Stanley Cup that year. And so, I didn't know what to expect. And I ended up working with one of my colleagues from the National Women's Hockey League Premier Hockey Federation, Erica Ayala, and her and I had worked together for so many games. We ended up going out to New Jersey, and it was an all-female cast. So it was Amanda Stein and oh my gosh, why am I? Catherine Bogart. So both those two ladies still work with the New Jersey Devils. But here it was, us four gals, and we had so much fun. But the best part of the whole game, the Devils were down like 2-0. It was, or 3-0 going. It was either into the second period or halfway into the second, and they're just struggling. And they went on a power play, and I turned to Erica. I said, all they need is a power play goal. Here we go. Let's score this one. And they scored it. And Erica goes, Kel, you're their lucky charm now. They just need to score another one. And lo and behold, they scored another goal. They tied that game up 3-3 and ended up winning, beating the future Stanley Cup champions 5-3. That, and I'll never forget going through Twitter after the game, and all the Devils fans are like, you guys need to hire these two. So the pinnacle of my career. So that was fun.
That's how you know you made it big time.
Yes.
Exactly. So that was fun.
I had that happen to me in 2012 when I was covering the Marist High School Redhawks back home in Chicago. And the first big game in the IHSA tournament, they were playing the number 4 team in the state in Curie. Now, I went downtown the night before because I had to get out of the house. I stayed at a hotel downtown, and then it dawned on me, how the hell am I going to get back to the South Side? So, and I've never told this story, but I will tell it here. I'm asking everybody I can in the train station, can you help me get on the train because I got to get out to the South Side? Well, wouldn't you know it, I reached into my wallet and I pulled out this buzz card and I checked it and there was something on it. I'll say, okay, I can get to Marist. I'll find a way home. Zipped out to Marist, and that became the first of the Marist miracles as Lexus Williams hit a 3 to win the game.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, game winner. They move on to the next round. That Sunday, I get a call from Deadspin saying, hey, you want to do an interview with us? Sure, why not? Didn't think anything of it until the next day when I get an email from High School Cube saying your call is heading to ESPN. I'm half asleep. I'm going, oh, that's okay. And then suddenly I sat up at my desk and I said, it what?
ESPN.
My phone blew up. My phone blew up.
You knew you made it at that point. ESPN. That's the best. That's the big time.
And the craziest thing was, I thought I was done because you had the top 2 teams in the state playing that Tuesday, knocked that game out. That Wednesday, they're playing the number 3 team, Marist is, in Bogan. And I said, okay, Bogan's gonna blow them to smithereens. Wrong. The Bogan was up by 15 with 2.5 minutes left. My brain, silly me, thinking, ain't no way they're going to come back and get this. Wrong.
Wrong again.
Like the spirit of the Twins of 91, they wiped out that 15-point deficit and won it in overtime. And I had another call that happened, and Friday I'll play them both here on the show. I had another call happen when they hit a 3 to cut it to 2, and then they get a steal on the inbounds pass. They get the tying layup with 1.4 seconds left. I'm already out of voice. And I'm thinking, there's no way this happened again. There's just no way. It did. And the next thing, the next day, again, I'm asleep. My phone is blowing up again. Oh, this can't be happening. Yeah, the next call I got was from the producer of the Dan Patrick Show.
Oh, that's so cool. I never had any of that happen, but still, that is pretty darn cool. Dan Patrick, I mean, legend.
his producer said to me, you're coming on at 10:30 Central, and we ain't taking no for an answer. What? Can I wake up first?
Can I at least have coffee?
Exactly. Bingo.
Oh,
right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't think I've had enough coffee yet today, but
I totally understand that. Oh, it's been a delight. Kelly Jo Schultz joining us here on the program, and I made her a promise. I'm going to make sure I cut the daylights out of this and post it everywhere.
You don't have to cut it up. I'm fine with this. I haven't done an interview like this in it's been eons. Because I haven't been in sports, at least live sports broadcasting very much the last year. Had my chance to do my first National Women's Soccer League game a couple weeks ago. Kind of a tryout. Fingers crossed I get another chance. Who knows?
I'm saying it now. You're going to get the call. I just feel it. You're going to get the call.
I hope so. And now that I'm back,
is so inspirational.
It is.
It really is.
Thank you. I know there's a lot of opportunities here in Minnesota. I know right now like I said before, the Minnesota's Professional Women's Hockey League team is in the postseason. I know they've already got their announcers, but maybe next year, who knows? And then there's always the opportunity to be. I have been kind of hoping to get back in. I worked as the inaugural play-by-play announcer for Minnesota Aurora. They are the USLW League team here, soccer, in the Twin Cities. They're talking, actually, the organization that's involved with Minnesota Aurora is talking about getting a pro team here. I mean, the Aurora are a feeder team, obviously, to the pros, but to actually get an NWSL or even the Super League that starts up in August. So women's sports is growing leaps and bounds. I mean, you look at all the attendance records that are being broken, and not just in the WNBA, not just in the NWSL, but also the National Women's or the Premier Professional Women's Hockey League. See, they've gone from step to step to step, and I can't keep them all straight. You can cut that out. But the Professional Women's Hockey League, all the records that they're breaking. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I was supposed to try to find a ticket to next, May 13th, the Minnesota team hosts Toronto. Trying to get a ticket at the XL Energy Center. It might be sold out by the time I even get there. But hopefully I can get in the door. I mean, let me in. You get a chance to call a Wild game. That would be okay. That's my dream. That is my dream. Actually, my ultimate would be in 2 years, Winter Olympics. I would love to be the voice of the women's hockey in the winter games. That's been my ultimate goal for since I was, since I first started broadcasting women's hockey, was to do that. So had my chance to do the soccer side of things. I did CONCACAF U20 women, their tournament last summer. So now on to the Olympics. That would be my ultimate. Like, I don't miss any of the Olympic games. I'm a huge NBC Sports. If you're watching, you know where to find me. I'm here, LinkedIn. Yep.
Put this clip on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll definitely put this up. We're going to try our best to help make it happen. Kelly Jo Schultz joining us here on the program. All of our guests appear via the Invader Coffee hotline. Go to invadercoffee.com. Use the code Snowman for 15% off of your order. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. My dear, it has been such a delight to have you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate you.
You too, my dear. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
How fun is that?
I know, right?
That's such an amazing.
How cool is that?
This is the thing. What's so awesome about that is that it was like when she said there wasn't a lot of females doing this, and you saw a lot, and she got a lot of them from like Sideline Pam Oliver being one of them also. And she said, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And lo and behold, look what you got. And she has.
That sounds familiar.
Yes.
It sounds familiar from when I started back in '85 when I heard the Bulls and the Bucks, before I heard the Miracle in the Boston Garden. And then my first game in 1995 at Chicago State. And those who know me know the rest is history.
Right.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we're just going to throw all kinds of shenanigans into the window and then throw them out the window. Snowman in the Morning, Hour 3 continues after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Gorgeous high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, AKA Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got Car Shield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV, and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave Car Shield a call. Coverage was very affordable, and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic. They called Car Shield and saved my family on $2,400.
Car Shield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give Car Shield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
Car Shield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business, also just make some awesome friends.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street y'all done had problems, maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
So Snowman's been asked, who's the face of the NBA? The face of the NBA has been residing in the Bay since he got here. And his name is Wardell Stephen Curry, the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. Take that.
Oh, yeah!
Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning.
Man, where do we go from here?
We went all the way around the horn.
And then some, to be perfectly honest with you. Man, this has been one of those wacky days, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
It started when we woke up and chose violence. I mean, quite literally, we woke up and chose violence today, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry it took so long.
Oh, you're good. I held it down. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Phew.
But, man, where do we go from here?
Home.
Yeah, I was about to say, if we're going to get shenanigans going, I better call Officer Bar Brady.
Nah. I'm worn out.
I think it's about lunchtime anyway, so.
It is. So we'll do this tomorrow, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. But for now, I think with the interview with Kelly, that's a good way to close up shop.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Droid will join us tomorrow. JJ will join us tomorrow as well. And Dietz will join us later in the week to talk some more NFC draft grades. And for those of you who think we don't give out draft grades, shut up. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope we all are too. Gentlemen, don't forget, you do matter. Remember that always. I love you. So long, everybody.
God help us all know.
Ain't nobody.
Jamal Jones, take him with you, please.
Paging me, asking me, are you still involved?
No one has your number because you don't matter, dude. Come on.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still involved?
Angel Hernandez won this time.
Listen. I'm still involved.
Get at it. No one cares about you, dude.
I'm still involved.